and logs at least 148 users every day. Carolyn Turner, VOA News, Washington.
Smart homegrown solutions. Now, that's our show for today. Be sure to watch Africa 54 on our website at voaafrica.com. For more news, tune in to VOA's evening radio show Africa News Tonight at 1800 UTC. And in the mornings, Today Break Africa between 0300 and 0600 UTC. That's Monday through Friday. Thanks a lot for watching. From all of us in Washington, have a good night. In Malawi, health workers begin using a new system for getting prompt attention to the sickest children.
Normalcy gradually returns to areas affected by Boko Haram in northeast of Nigeria, and some children are able to go back to school.
And as a new administration takes over in Washington, what might be the relationship between the White House and the continent? Africa 54 starts right now.
Hello, I'm Chamberlain Saw at Channels Television here in Lagos. Welcome to our show as we take you around the continent and bring you stories from across Africa. My colleague Vincent McCurry joins us from Washington.
Well, thanks a lot, Chamberlain. Yes, I'm coming to you from Studio 51, the Voice of America's global headquarters in the U.S. Capitol. Let's get the show started from Lagos.
Normalcy is gradually returning to areas affected by Boko Haram militants in the northeast. Some children are going back to school, as in the Madagali local government area in Adamawa State. Our Channels Television's correspondent Freedom Haslan visited the area and compiled this report.
Just like a typical school day, excited children fill the playground at Jalingo Gulak Primary School. The smiles on their faces show their joy coming back to school after fleeing for safety during Boko Haram's onslaught. Government Junior Secondary, another school within the same premises, is also colorful. Students carry out their usual cleanup exercises before classes begin. These schools in Gulak Madagali local government area are reopening now only because displaced persons are returning to the community.
Well, we gather the students from different areas, that is people from Botoko, Bakinduse, Humbli, the people that come here and settle. We decided, and the people that run away and come back, we settle here and we continue our studies successfully without no problem.
The students are not the only ones glad to be back. The management is also happy, although they face new challenges such as lack of textbooks and fewer teachers.
These classrooms were burnt down. If you actually look at the back, they are also burnt down. All furniture, they were burnt down. Last time, I had to construct some seats for my members of staff, as well as some seats for our students. That's how we have been managing.
The presidential initiative for the Northeast has promised to sustain its assistance in rebuilding damaged infrastructure to provide better learning conditions for these students who are eager to catch up on lost time.
Our school, we need to build us new classes.
The children's zeal to continue with their education in the face of security concerns is proof of the determination to pursue their dreams despite the difficult circumstances. The onus lies on the authorities to provide the necessary support to help these future leaders become contributors to national development.
Let's talk more about the role of education in rebuilding Nigeria's northeast. Well, joining us for that is Professor Victor Ayedun-Aluma at the University of Jos. Thank you for joining us on Africa 54.
Thank you for having me.
There's a lot of work to be done to education in the system in the Northeast, considering the impacts of the attacks on schools. What immediate actions should be taken to address the underdevelopment in the region through education?
The first thing to think about, the first area in which to make intervention is in the platforms in which educational content, educational materials are delivered. Clearly, to rebuild schools and all of that is fine, but I believe that in the short term, intervention has got to be more creative in the platforms that are used. I suggest, for instance, the idea of a classroom in which technologies like radio, like mobile phones, multimedia messages on mobile phones. I think also that we should be thinking about flexibility in how the curriculum, how the content is delivered, which means that the lessons, the times that the lessons are given may have to be adapted to the realities on ground. And if they can't be delivered in the normal morning hours, we should not shy away from looking at other hours of the day.
Well, governments alone cannot do everything. What other options do you think are there to drive development?
Here is where collaboration between government and non-governmental organizations. I don't see any reason why homegrown corporations can't step up and begin to spend some of their corporate social responsibility budgets on strengthening education by collaborating with non-governmental organizations. So one way in which the budget can be shared is to have these collaborations between government agencies, non-governmental organizations, as well as the philanthropy of private sector organizations.
Particularly worrying is the effect on the foundational learning stage. Speaking of basic education, what can be done to ensure that children at this stage are at par with their contemporaries across the country?
Parents are going to have to be involved. They're going to be functioning as first-line, quote-unquote, teachers, working with either the teachers who are physically present there or teachers who are speaking or participating from a distance. So the parents, the mothers, the older siblings who are on ground, I believe should be brought into it, and we should have, therefore, a more effective coverage for basic or early childhood education in the Northeast.
Professor Victor Ayedun Aloma, thank you for joining us today on Africa 54.
Thank you.